Hello people. Following on from what I consider a small personal success, cue the turkey.
It's like a lady that
Creating the ugly drum smoker and having the success with the turkey on Christmas Day has led me to want to smoke absolutely everything. So, garlic bulbs, they're going to have to be smoked at a slightly lower temperature, but I'm going to stick them in and see how they go. So these are giant garlics, can't wait to try that. This lot here, and here is end of season chilies that have been grown in the greenhouse. We've got some habaneros, we've got some ackee lemons, some ackee red somewhere, and some bongo chilies, which were seeds I bought off the internet. They're supposed to be the Reaper, which they're not. Anyway, left some choice feedback for that person. These are the cherry bombs. So these are reasonably mild, but if you ate the whole lot in one go, it'll put some flame in your eyes. They're all about the same heat actually, but they're all got a subtle different flavour. So what I want to do with these is turn this into what I would call my own smoked harissa. Before I do that, these things aren't desiccated properly yet, so they've been sat around for a week or so off the vine. What I've got to do is I'm going to part dry them or 3/4 dry them in the oven. So I need to split these red ones in half because these are really difficult to dry. They take ages. These are the chilies after being in the oven at 140 for 45 minutes. So they're not thoroughly dry yet. They're getting there. I think they'll be finished by the time they come out of the drum. I'm just going to put these on there because it's going to be a few seeds falling out, which might not be brilliant. Blur it out. For a few lost seeds, I think it will distribute the smoke more evenly and certainly the heat through the bottom. Good, we're ready to go. Okay, what we've got here is 900 grams of basic unadulterated almonds. Nice condition ones. These are from the Asian deli. These are about £3 a bag, which is incredible. I know where these things grow, and £3 a bag for all that effort, that's just a little bit too cheap, I think. Anyway, 900 grams. So in order for the smoke to be absorbed into I mean, you can smoke them just like that, so I believe. I've never done this before. But in my reckoning, if it had a coating on it, not only would it add a latter flavour, it would help for the smoke to something to stick to, because there's a name for it on salmon and things. It creates this sort of moist skin, and the smoke sticks to it and seems to penetrate better. Anyway, I've chosen a few ingredients here, which is what I think might taste quite nice. Now, I think less is probably more. I could go over the tops of this, but I'm doing nearly a kilo of almonds, and I've got to make sure that the flavour's going to work within reason. So I've got some Worcester sauce. I've got some mushroom soy. Superior, it says. I hope so. Cayenne pepper, black pepper, and some garlic infused olive oil, which I made the other day when I did a garlic confit. This is amazing on roast potatoes and things. If you look it up on YouTube, garlic confit, amazing. So I'm just going to put a splash in here. I'm just guessing this. I've got no idea how much I put in. Maybe a bit more. That's probably more than enough. Shake the old Worcester sauce. Yum. Some of this. Maybe a bit more, because I like this a lot. Cayenne pepper, not overdo it too much, even though we do like it quite hot. That's probably good. Black pepper. getting in there. Shiny. They look good. Smells good. Let's try Jamie Oliver. Excellent. Right, when I clean up a bit, I'll stick these in the pan, we'll whack them in the smoker because we're up to speed now. In my excitement, I forgot to add salt, which is essential, so I'm using some Himalaya salt here. I won't need this much, but I'll grind up a bit. Now I use this, it's a coffee grinder, I use this for grinding my spices when I make curry, and there's a residue in there of my garam masala, which is rather nice, so it'll enhance a little bit of that too. Let's see what happens. Never ceases to amaze me, this little gadget. It takes seconds to turn it into dust. Incredible. Yeah. So I'm just going to salt this up a bit. Now with anything like this, I always think you need a little bit more salt than you'd normally use. That's probably loads, maybe a bit more. So that's, you can definitely smell the curry in there now. Let's do another Jamie Oliver if I can.
It was.
And this is the turkey tray, which I'm going to reuse for a long time. I mean, it's a great vessel for putting things in. Okay. These will steam away, add a bit of moisture to the barrel, but will burn. See what happens. One of those. One of these. I'm using these. They were half price at Tesco's. Enough. That's a beautiful sight.
So what are you doing now then?
Just going to layer the bucket out with wood chips and briquettes. Now these aren't ideal. It's not lump wood, but it's made out of 100% hardwood. They guarantee there's nothing else in it except starch, which I think is probably okay. I did the turkey and it's fine. So layer the bottom. Some apple. I've got a bag of mesquite here. I think it's pronounced mesquite. I don't know. Anybody out there? I'm sure everyone knows how to say it, except me. That one. Put it around a bit. you have a look in there, you can kind of see what I'm doing it. More coals. So I'll stick in a couple of bits of Applewood before I forget. Now my figuring, because it's green straight off the tree, it's going to need to be in a hot space, which I think is in the middle, because by the time the coals have all wicked down, that'll be a very hot space in the middle there. I don't reckon I need any more than that. On top, I used a bag. I've filled it up to about 3/4 with the turkey, and literally that was burning for 10 hours. So that's a 10-hour bucket, which is quite amazing. More of this on top. So, okay, let's have a look at this guy. So that's the rocket stove effect. So you get a huge suction of air from the base, literally being blasted up like a rocket. It's actually ready to go now, but I'll wait till that firelighter's finished. Note for reference later, use half a firelighter. So that's the bucket, as we showed you earlier. We're going to put it in the base now. Nice and central. It's quite important to make sure it's uniform. I'm going to put the heat deflector on in a second. Right, I can put those coals in now. Get it going. This is so easy. Nice and central. Brilliant. Lid on. Stack open. Vents open. So it's fully open when you start it, obviously. I'm only going to use one of these temperature probe holes because we're not cooking any meat today, so this is purely going to be for the drum temperature. That's going through a silicone grommet. Put that on there for a second. It's not hot yet. Put it in probe number 1. Turn it on. 24 degrees C it says at the moment. Down there. Now this is a little silicone bung, so I'll just put that in there so I don't get any smoke coming out. Turn this on. (90°F). So it knows there's only one probe in there. So if I press start, I could go to Celsius, 32 degrees. So you can see it's climbing already, and on the gauge here, it's saying 25, 30, 25, 30, 35. It's saying about 40 on there, so we know that's the discrepancy. Actually, as this gauge gets higher, it gets more accurate. Right, that's it for now. Let's get it up to, we're going to be doing the toasted almonds at 225°F. I think we're going to do the whole lot at that, so I'll be back when it's up to speed. Okay, that was literally 3 minutes back in the house and it's beeping me to tell me it's climbing. So actually it's climbing quite a bit. 231. Okay, I think that's stabilised. Right, we are way over temperature at the moment, but I reckon by the time I take this lid off and faffed around putting these trays in, the temperature will have dropped to something suitable. Okay, then goes the nuts. Oh, that fits this drum perfectly, I didn't notice that. The contour of the tray fits it perfection. Okay, aim it back to front. Put that in first, drop on the lot. About set the top. Now halfway, in about an hour or maybe a couple of hours, I'll come in and agitate those nuts and give them a toss. I might do it in about an hour. This is all guesswork at this stage. Put that on. Yeah, that's dropped right down to 75. Just like that. And all that, it was at 319, dropped to 75 in that short time, 72 degrees Celsius. So I've turned one vent completely off. So one vent's completely open, and from my turkey experience, that'll take me to about 245, 250. We'll see. Okay, once again, in my haste, I forgot the garlic. Now, the experts recommend that you don't do them at this temperature, but I'm going to try it anyway. They say slower and longer, but let's just give it a go. Looking good in there. Great stuff. So we know from the last experience that the drum will get back up to temperature within 2 or 3 minutes, so it's all good. We're an hour in and I'm getting whiffs of apple, and the temperature has stayed within 1 or 2 degrees of what I've set it at in my mind, which was 225. So these drums are incredibly accurate considering, you know, the ambient outside temperature, you know, breezes and whatever. And I've read somewhere that if you're not after huge amounts of smoke coming out, it's just a gentle, faintly blue stream of smoke, and I think you might be able to see that.
Okay.
Okay, it's been 2 hours, 15 minutes. Whoa. God, I'm never going to get tired of seeing that. Listen to that. Okay, the garlic smells incredible. These guys, perfect. Right, I think, don't even know what to say about those. Right, I think we're actually done. It's probably not long enough for the garlic. I'll probably just take a hint of smoke, I don't know. But those chilies are something else. Yep. Okay, these have been out the drum about 3 or 4 minutes. Now, They're beautiful and dry. You don't want them hanging around the room too much, it'll absorb any moisture. So we're just going to get them chopped up and put away as soon as we can. These smell like you'd expect, smoked chili, but the smell is, I couldn't write it to describe it. Right, let's get these blitzed. Now you can do this to your own taste. Now when you take the lid off these things, don't breathe it in because you'll be on the floor. A bit more. Deep breath. The colours in there. Have a look at that. And that. Oh, got me. Right. I'll just regroup and put this in a jar. Okay. We've had to put the extractor on. That's what that noise is, because that was pretty heady. So I think for all the effort, I mean, we've grown these chilies in the greenhouse, we've smoked them, ground them up, so it's quite a lot of effort to get to this stage. But I think we should put them in a nice jar, worthy of the effort. You can see how dry that is, the way that pours. Nice clean sieve, funnel. Not a full jar, but that's it. This is sterilised, by the way, beforehand. Not much can live in the presence of the chili when it's smoked and dried like this, but you still need to sterilise your jars, just out of for good reasons, good measures. What would you call it? Good hygiene.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a branded jar, nice quality thing. And that can now sit on top of our non-smoked harissa. Okay, to summarise the haul from today, we've achieved sorry, a chili cough, 900 grams of smoked almonds, minus about 50 because Lynn and I scoffed quite a few straight away. You can't help it. Once you've had you can't stop. It's a problem. And we've got this, which is the harissa, which has got a beautiful colour to it. Now, the other harissa that I made a month or so ago was like this. You can see the colour difference. Same chili content, same types of chilies. Very different colour now because it's smoked. Very different smell too. This is very citrusy, light, delightful smelling harissa. This, where this has got some incredible umami notes to it. I think umami is the right word, considering that you can't quite put your finger on it, and the taste, it's something amazing, but you can't describe it. So I think that's what umami is all about. So this haul here was just a fraction of the chilies that I grow thousands of chilies, not bushes, but in the number that come off the bushes. We just get mountains of them, so I make lots of this. We eat them fresh as well, but I make lots of this and give it to friends and family, which is much appreciated. And these guys, you can hear that, absolutely, I mean, they look like the real deal, but from what I've read, these are supposed to take about 24 hours, really low, almost virtually cold smoked actually. Well, these are in the ugly drum at around 120 degrees. There was a barrier there which stopped most of the heat coming up, but it still was at 120 degrees, and these have not cooked. They're firm. When a garlic, if you confit a garlic or you cook a garlic, it just goes soggy. But these are not. Anyway, I'll open them up. I won't open them now because once you do, you need to get on with it really, and they're still a bit warm. Tempted though. Anyway, they smell amazing. So, jury's out on whether I did make a mistake with these. I'll still use them. I'll actually, if I've made a mistake with them, I will make some more confit garlic, and I'll put this in some olive oil and make some flavoured oils for ramen or something, which could be quite nice. Well, that's it. Very happy with that. So I'll see you next time.